Clippers forced the 7th turnover for the Raptors. Lob to PG. Oh, a bird's eye view with the flush. Identifiable organization from, say, 15 years ago. George leaps to grab the pass, but it's late in the clock. He steamrolls. Schroeder goes to the rack with the punch. Wow! A fancy pass there by Hart. Goes back to George. He's been the cash cow in this third quarter. Spins his way to freedom and knocks it down. Ball movement here by the Clippers, but a great closeout by Sharp. Just 2 to shoot for George from the nail. It's good. Back-to-back buckets in the mid-range for the Clippers.
Paul George up against Zion. And a good job defensively, but that guy is smooth and slick.
Talking at the defensive end. Now he's got his hands full against a red-hot PG.
Paul George, money, a 3.
Tyronn Lue's got his bench getting ready to come in.
Hot starts have helped, haven't they? Leads early. Paul George.
How do you feel about that?
Paul George, he's got Larry this time.
And he also has a 2-for-1.
Yep. And he's got another triple.
George, 8:11 on the clock. Sohan trying to keep him in front, but he is red hot from the outside now. As Paul George, another 3. George, deep 3.
That looked good as soon as it left his hands.
Ovation, rightfully so, and he has been phenomenal for the Heat. Leather larceny, here comes George the other way, picking the pocket of Tyler Hero. Rises in the mid-range and knocks it down. Back-to-back buckets for Paul George.
They got George, who's going to good front by Jose, but it's going to be a fall away.
He's going to raise over top of him.
You got it. Bad matchup for the Pels and a timeout for the Pels.
His career, and he's still here, still getting it done. It's great to see.
George, another jumper falls for Paul George. Clock resets.
George against SGA. 2 points, 5 assists, but 5 turnovers for Reeves. Here's Paul George, who had 9 points in the first half, took only 4 shots, and he knocks that one down to start the third quarter. George being defended by Reddish, who gets the late call to start because of a...
You want to think about your shot selection. This is a really good team when it comes to guarding the 3-ball.
Paul George is taller than Corey Joseph and shoots over it. Still great defense, but in our league, good offense beats better defense.
Zone, they've got a ton of size on the floor right now.
They lob it over to the top to Paul George. The turnaround is pure.
Enthusiastic as always.
He's overjoyed.
Oh, yep. Sending out orders.
George creates space, steps back.
McConnell long enough for McConnell to get that little jump shot to go.
TJ had 10 points and 6 assists Saturday night in Minneapolis. Here's a step back 3 again by George.
Trailed by as many as 9 back in that second quarter. Take a sizable lead here into the fourth. Game tomorrow night. George, step back 3. I'll tell you what, it's back for George.
They are first in the league in steals, second in points off turnovers. They get a lot of points off of opportunities like this.
Going behind the back for Day'Ron Sharpe. Not sure that was the plan. Count it, and a foul. Paul George angles in.
Spurs desperately to find a way to snap this losing skid.
Just the start of the ball game. PG 13, Paul George. Attacks. Oh, beautiful play as AD was right there, but he laid it up and in.
Paul George got 5 threes in the game. He's got Anthony Davis on him. He gets past him, and he's fouled by Davis. Count the basket, and a chance at a 3-point play, which would pull the Clippers within 3.
His handle, one of the best in the league at getting to his spots and then rising up. And speaking of which,
George was 7 to shoot. Down the lane off the window and in. A tough shot for some.
George
hangs and hits.
Loose balls create opportunities there, and that's what's happening.
Boy, George surrounded by 3 defenders. He sticks it anyway.
Are either 3-pointers or at the rim. 82-60. Long 2 for George. It's good. See James Hart back out there. Never left the game, but was hobbling around for a possession or 2 late in the second quarter. Paul George knocks down the mid-range shot.
And Leonard and George. And Caldwell Pope will defend. Shot clock at 5. Paul George.
what a shot.
Russell Westbrook. Paul George with 29. And now 31, defended by Caldwell Pope. To save. Good play by Anthony Davis. And he's all alone underneath.
For a lot more of a struggle at the line for him. Jaquez, boy, looked like he was fouled a couple times.
Boucher, blocked by George. Harden attacks on Barnes, to the rim and in.
Smith gets screened by Zubac. Harden, the bounce, Zubac wasn't there, not on the same page. Oh, what a shift. Finney Smith blocked by George.
Young over to Barrett, turns the corner, attacking.
About a 9-second difference between the shot and game clock.
Vucevic across the lane, up, under, pocket pick. Here comes James Harden. No look ahead to Powell, and he lays it in.
Sustainable traction so far in this game. That can change in a hurry. Dosunmu to the rim. Dismissed by George. Arcing pass down court to man. In attack mode and lays it in. White spots an entry. Loses the ball. Kawhi Leonard the other way.
Hey, that's how you start the game.
Simons blocked from Zoo. Reese with the recovery. Blocked by George. Recovered by Kawhi. Leonard in overdrive. Back to Harden to the rim. And in.
Kicked it to Paul George and the quick pass to Kawhi in the corner. Allow that to work.
Level Larceny with Vassell to beat to the house, and he punches it in.
This 4-3. The shot chart for Russell Westbrook has been very interesting, at least to me. One mid-range field goal in the first two.
Another steal by George. Off to the races with the defense in his rear view. Cocks it back and throws. Clippers 3 for 5 from the field. Pelicans 5 for 6. Paul George, that's his second basket.
Is over the 50% mark. George creates separation, launches in the mid-range, and continues to be on automatic pilot. He looks terrific. He's got 14. Last bucket by the Spurs goes to Malachi Randall. You see him wearing the number 22. Patrick O'Neal referenced your 22 years going forward after
just 25 first quarter points. Isaiah has 11, Brown has 9. Here's George for 3 again. That was Kawhi Leonard over there. No foul is called. Harden. George has it guarded by Toppin. 2.5 to play in the quarter, and George again for 3.
George for 3. It's good. And for the first time in a long time, the Clippers lead 59-58.
By Kyrie Irving. He's into double figures. Quick score by the Clippers.
He sets it up for Norman Powell. Paul George outside, all the way to the rack.
The rebound goes to Kawhi Leonard, down 7. Here comes Harden. George, quick move to the basket, takes it to the house, and lays it in. 19 for George. No substitutions yet for Ty Lue's squad. Although, as I say that, Russell Westbrook, Norman Powell.
Basketball and working more collectively here on this end.
Paul George has been a one-man wrecking crew for LA.
He's touching the basketball every single time down the court. Jokic already has 3 assists, and that's laced in. It's a 3 by Paul George.
Harden picked up by Schroeder. Gives to George. Hesitates for a moment.
George for 3.
George given space for a moment. That's all he needs. Lay it out on the floor. Powell for 3. In and out. George with a rebound. He backs it back out, fires a 3. Why not? 6 threes for George. And George was cooking in the 7 minutes he played. He had 11 points. Crosses over Jeff Green, rumbles down the lane, hangs and hits again.
Quick reaction by George.
26-24, LA in front. George defended by O'Neal. Right down the middle. George flips it up and in.
5 steals here in the first quarter for the Clippers. Collins tries to force it up on Covington. Misses, and now Paul George roams back the other way. George in and out dribble, down the lane, and down the hatch it goes.
Going to win small ball here. George inside, into Brown. He gets it to go, forcing the issue. He's got 25.
George drives on Brooks, spins away, down the lane, hangs, and hits. Counted and a foul. What a drive by Paul George. Hornets on the year 5-19 when they trail by double figures. That's the second most games played while trailing by double figures in the league. George for 3. It's good.
Good things happen. Put it in your pocket.
It's a little extra hustle, but Paul George steps into that three.
Lobs it to Jackson, but it goes into the ready hands of Amir Coffey.
Run the lanes, you'll be wide open.
George, a pull-up three. Oh, it's good! Clippers looking to push. They could tie with a three. George! We are tied!
Just waiting for the explosion from Ja Morant, whether or not he has enough energy or not. Nice backdoor cut by Paul George.
The Clippers can't get anything to go here in the fourth quarter. Jalen Green the other way, sidesteps defenders, misses inside. Clippers have the rebound.
Could get an open look here in transition.
George to the rim. Yes! Now Norman Powell. Can George beat the buzzer? Paul George! Curry the pull-up. Rebound Westbrook. The Clippers looking to push. The shot clock is dark. They're down by 2. George wants it all. The three.